Next, reporter Kristen Abbott introduces us to the inner workings of the Canton Library Board of Trustees.
Canton residents have many things to be proud of in their community, one of which is the Canton Public Library, run by the Library Board of Trustees. Canton's first public library was established when residents voted for a 1 mil tax to support a public library in 1979. At that time, the very first library board members were appointed. On October 20th, 1980, the doors opened on the third floor of the Canton Administration Building with 12,000 square feet of space, and soon after the library saw its first elected Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees is the governing body of the library, and members serve 4-year terms. They meet every third Wednesday of each month in the library. Board member Dr. James Gillig tells us about some of the board's responsibilities.
Well, we hire and supervise the chief executive officer of the library, which is Jean Tabor, our director. She is given substantial latitude to carry out her position, but it's us who have to evaluate what we've done at the end of the year. We set long-term objectives each year, indicating what it is we'd like to see achieved. How she goes about doing that is something we leave to her, because quite frankly, she's far better at it than we are. She's a professional and a very, very good one. But we do evaluate that. Someday, I suppose, we'll have to replace her. That'll be a sad day for us. We also oversee and approve the budget, because the budget is what supports our request for millage each year. We are also responsible for trying to establish as much linkage as possible with our, what we call stakeholders, the people who pay for the library.
During the 80s, the library grew to become one of the busiest libraries in the area and soon outgrew its crowded quarters. In 1986, voters supported a second mill to construct and operate a new facility. The Library Board of Trustees worked diligently to finalize plans for the new building.
We've increased size by about 400% before we begin this edition. We've increased circulation from 0 to over 700,000. We are one of the busiest libraries in all of metropolitan Detroit.
Currently, the library is in the middle of an expansion, and the board has seen it through every step of the way.
The expansion, although I suppose jumps to everybody's mind as being the big issue, actually is a done deal for us. We're starting to look at what we're going to be doing in the future several years down the road.
The expansion and renovation of the library will add approximately 22,000 square feet to its current 31,500. A grand total of 53,500 square feet is expected.
It's a complicated project because there's really 3 additions. The one that's being done to the west is going to encompass the new children's department. It will be done first. We'll be closing the current building, children's department, on the 13th of May and moving it into the meeting room. We hope to have everybody back into the new room in August. The second addition, the one to the south, is going to include a lot more stack area because we're running out of room to put books. Our bookshelves are full. It's also going to have a room in there for the friends of the library so they can run their book sales and things out of there, because they have been very supportive of the library over the years. That will be the second one that'll get done. And the third, which is the one that faces Canton Center on the east, is going to have also additional book space and a lot of additional study space.
The project is being funded with the library's current operating millage, which means no additional cost to taxpayers. That fact, along with future plans for the facility, should make Canton residents very happy.
I think, from my view of looking at it, is that what the biggest change may well be is what's going on today, is whether we're going to be doing things with the printed page or whether we're going to be using it digitally. Electronics have become a huge issue in the library. Our new library is, when we're done with the additions, we're going to have 104 libraries in the public areas that are connected not only to everything in the library, but the internet as well. If you go into the children's section over here, we've got a bank of computers over there for kids, and you'll go in there and you'll see a bunch of 4-year-olds all sitting there working computers. It's astounding.
The current board members, Jeannie Moody-Novak, Dr. James Gillig, Raymond Van Hoek, Craig Gruber, Kathy Young, and Edward Zelmansky welcome the public's input.
So if they have either criticisms or suggestions, we'd very much like to hear from them. They can always come to our meetings. They can send email or faxes or are mailed to the library, and we'd be assured that we will get it. We do look at it all. We do try to pay attention to it, and where we can, to try to accommodate their needs.
The Canton Public Library is truly one of Canton's greatest assets, thanks in large part to the Library Board of Trustees. For Canton This Month, I'm Kristen Abbott.